Hi everyone. Today we will brief you on Notice 3 of Foreign Exchange Policy. Our topic today is investment in foreign currency asset.
How actually foreign exchange policy addresses excessive ringgit outflows. Originally, all residents are free to invest in foreign currency assets. However, if a resident has domestic ringgit borrowing, the resident will be subject to an investment prudential limit per calendar year. The prudential limit applies when fund is sourced from ringgit conversion or from trade foreign currency account.
What does this mean by investment in foreign currency asset? There are two types of investment in foreign currency assets: onshore and offshore. Foreign currency asset onshore is offered in Malaysia, whereas foreign currency assets offshore is basically offered outside Malaysia or by non-residents. Please refer to the following examples for further details. Now, let's look at the difference of investment limit between individual and entity. A resident individual with domestic ringgit borrowing is allowed to invest in foreign currency asset up to its prudential limit per calendar year. The limit for individual is ringgit Malaysia 1 million in aggregate.
Whereas, a resident individual without domestic ringgit borrowing is allowed to invest in foreign currency asset in any amount.
A resident entity with domestic ringgit borrowing is allowed to invest in foreign currency asset up to ringgit Malaysia 50 million in aggregate per calendar year. This limit is shared between the resident entities and a group of entities with parent-subsidiary relationships. Whereas, a resident entity without domestic ringgit borrowing is allowed to invest in foreign currency asset in any amount. As mentioned earlier, the limit is only applies if resident debit from their ringgit account or trade FCA only. Investment by debiting investment FCA is allowed in any amount.
This table is applicable to both individual and entity.
In summary, prior to investment transaction, business unit should check the following. Firstly, to check which account is used for the investment. Either ringgit account, trade FCA or investment FCA. Investment limit is only applicable if client debit their ringgit or trade FCA for investment purposes.
Secondly, to check domestic borrowing status by the client by obtaining declaration on investment abroad.
Thirdly, to check investment utilized for the year by the client. Client with domestic borrowing can only invest up to the remaining balance.
And lastly, if the amount invested exceeds limit, Bank Negara approval is required. Business have to obtain the approval letter and verify all conditions given are fully complied.
Thank you for watching.